You want 20? I went, yeah. He said, yeah, why not? He says, I read your book. And I was like, you read my book? And he says, yeah. And he says, in your book, you said you got to negotiate hard and get as much as you can. I went, we gave him the 20. Yeah. And he was brilliant.
A new manager coming in now was going to need real help. For me, if you're talking about who should come in, I think it should be Xabi Alonso.
Everybody in these podcasts, Rory's the same. Just tell lies about me. Jesus.
I'm a little bit worried. I'm hoping it's a blip.
But I can't stand next to my centre-back who's marking him.
You don't have to stand next to your centre-half. Owen's in between.
I've got a bit of... Look,
and even when he heads it, you don't even hit him as he heads it.
The Hullet one, definitely.
I'm in Courchevel. Your manager is off, and that's you lot for the next 30 years.
I think my hair's all right, yeah. I think people at home really haven't got high expectations around my hair. I actually love this studio. Yeah. I feel like home. It's a happy place, this.
Jacket?
Kieran, you know what this jacket is? This is a Stone Roses Man United collaboration. When I became captain, I put This Is The One as the song to walk out to, and it's been there ever since. It's quite cool.
I mean, I like the top. I'm not sure about the jacket.
You don't like the jacket? No. Oh, come on, Kieran.
I sure like that, though.
Kieran secretly loves it. It's just that he's a Liverpool fan, you see. And what they can't do, they can't just get over the fact that they like something that Manchester United have done. You know what I mean? But the Liverpool should be doing a Beatles collaboration. They don't talk about the Beatles enough, do they? Is that a Louis Vuitton t-shirt that he's got on there? Is that Louis Vuitton?
No, it's not. It's 7W.
Right, okay.
Let me see.
It's like a fake Louis Vuitton, isn't it?
It's a Louis Vuitton, look.
It's my mate, I said I'd wear it on here.
He's got a Louis Vuitton on. Hey!
Promise you a present.
Cheers.
Oh. Sorry, lads. You're not into the
What is
American
it?
football, are you?
Oh, no. The 49ers, man. Hey, Roy, that's nice of you.
Are you watching the games? You're not,
To
are
be
you?
honest,
No.
no, I will do.
It's a bakery that you've got to go.
Look at me, man.
Niners.
Go 49ers, go, go, go!
Go Niners.
Go Niners, go,
Niners.
go, go!
Yeah, not 49ers.
You know what I do like?
Takes too long to say
You know what I
that.
like? I do like the Philadelphia Eagles, man, because what's he
That's
called?
all right.
Vince
Did you-
Pagali. Remember Vince Pagali, the guy who they got off the streets to play?
All right.
They done a tryout so anybody who can turn up, who can play.
Right.
Have you seen the film? Invincible. You got to watch
seen
it.
it.
Ah, you got to watch it, Roy. Invincible.
Oh, see Scholes' Instagram last night.
Oh,
When you
God,
were there.
on our group, we were laughing so much.
Oh my God.
Scholes, said,
Go on.
he said, fullbacks going into central midfield is a f***ing insult. to every
Midfielders, I'd tell them to
midfield position. He said, I'd tell them to Oh my God, I was laughing. Phil sent it on the group and I looked at oh my God, I was laughing my head off.
Nice.
That is so him. He's actually got a point, hasn't he? Get the out of here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's like when a midfielder goes back and gets it off the two centre-halves and they're like a yard from him.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
a decent half, you go, no, I can actually pass it in there.
Yeah. Oh, it was the one the other week that Scholes he came out with. Short corners.
Was he not a fan? He's not
Short
a fan.
corners.
It's true. What you gonna do a short corner for? You could just you can knock it across the skulls and he'll just volley it in from the edge of the box.
See, now we
no.
were watching City the other night against Spurs, and they kept putting it in. I was saying, they have to do a short soon. Just
Who,
mix
Tottenham
things
or
up.
City?
No, City.
Oh.
City. Remember again?
Against Tottenham.
We were saying they have to mix it up a little bit, and then they put one in this score. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, but how bad was that? You know, you got. Who was it in front of the keeper? Yeah.
All right.
He's trying to
Well, there was enough. Yeah. That used to
Why
drive me mad.
Were you doing West Brom Wolves as well?
No. I was doing Liverpool.
Right.
I don't do the big. I don't do the really big. So, Gav, what's the story with this top again?
It's a collaboration between Manchester United, Adidas, and the Stone Roses.
Right.
See the little lemons on the badge.
It's
And
nice.
this
I like
is
it.
the one. I'm giving it to Roy after for his son.
Nice.
You'd be delighted.
So, what's the Stone Roses got to do with it? They made a song. What's the song?
United walk out to This Is The One.
Right.
Right.
No, that's done. That'll do. What? I bet.
Did I read the other day that you spoke to Man United about what music they should like?
Yeah.
Did you?
When I
Yeah.
first became captain, I said to the club secretary,
And what was the song? What used to be?
This Is The One.
Yeah, but
Before it was like a Rocky something.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like, do you remember it? Like
And what? So, and you got that through, Gal? They said, okay, yeah, we will change it.
when you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you speaking to them now for about?
No, they've just done a collaboration and they asked me to be part of an advert with them.
Oh.
And then they said, we want you to wear one of these on Stick to Football. So I
And
said,
did the change of the song help the team? Do you think? Did it change the?
I don't know. But
What year was that?
I just felt there was no connection to the song that we walked out. It was like a Rocky song. I can remember it. Yeah.
What was it?
2006, 5, 6, something like that. It was the best thing I did as captain, I think. Welcome to Stick to Football, brought to you by Sky Bet. And this week I'm joined by Ian, Cara and Roy, and we're going to be talking mainly about Jurgen Klopp, Marcus Rashford and Ben White and Zinchenko in Arsenal's victory at Nottingham Forest. Were they frustrating you in the first half, trying to pass it into the net, trying to walk it into
hard.
the net?
Yeah, and then when Jesus missed that one, what hit the post, I was thinking,
It was
what,
so
it's gonna be
frustrating to
one of those.
watch. I was like, oh man.
And then I'm thinking at some stage Nuno's going to realise like this isn't happening for us. I'm going to just go. I'm going to go long, get it up to Awoniyi, and get Gibbs White around him, get them all around him, and put Arsenal under pressure up there because you saw a couple of instances where, Chris Wood got himself around Gabriel, and they were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Saliba trying to win it off of. They should have put it in a position where they put that side of us under pressure. They didn't do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was 81% possession at one stage.
Half time.
We haven't won there in the last 3 times we've been there, and Forest just came and just sat back, missed chances, and then in the end, I thought the goalkeeper, man. I always say, I said that the goalkeeper, we've got to put shots in them. We weren't doing that, and the one shot that he had, the near post, you can't get beat there. Can't get beat.
You need to beat Liverpool on Sunday now.
I know we do.
Big that.
I think that we can't lose. That's the main thing. We mustn't lose.
I think you've got to beat them.
At home. No. We can't lose because you don't want to go and think,
you can't panic yet, Gary. You can't be this goal. We have to win.
No, but go and beat them. You know what I mean, if you're going to win
Yeah, but you're trying to win every match, obviously. But again, I agree. Make sure you don't get beaten either.
That's the thing. I'd rather us not get beat. Get the 3 points from Forest, a team that we struggled to beat in the last 3 games.
Remember
and then
Arsenal?
Liverpool, bam, you go for it. And at some stage you say, you know what, we'll take a point here off of them.
You had the same chat last year. Remember Arsenal playing City? They have to beat them. Actually, a draw wouldn't have been so bad for them towards the end. Once they got beaten by City.
Remember it was Forest what started it all for us, the wheels?
Yeah.
The clown car. The wheels.
No, it was...
Was it Forest? It was Southampton.
Not West Ham. It was... No, Southampton was a Friday night.
West Ham away, they were 2-0 up.
Anfield. It's
Anfield.
It's Anfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that can happen. But they were 2-0 up against West Ham. We're talking about Arsenal.
It was Liverpool. You're right. Liverpool. That was West Ham.
You were 2-0
West Ham. And then Southampton at
Liverpool
home.
can happen. You're 2-0 up
2-0
against
up at West Ham and Saka missed the penalty.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it was.
And
I
they
like
make that
how we
mistake on the
feel.
edge
I
of the
like
box.
where we are now. I know that against Palace, I thought I didn't expect Palace to be as poor as they were, but at the same time, I was really put them away ruthlessly. But
When do you play City? You've got to go to City, haven't you?
I can't remember when we're going to City. I'm just thinking.
Did Ben White have a go at Zinchenko at the end? Is it Ben White's gone to Zinchenko and blamed him for the goal for not getting up for the header or something?
I think because I just saw it as it happened. I was like, oh, what's happening with them two? But he went over and he pointed, he said something, and then Zinchenko weren't happy with it. And then it went from there, and then Zinchenko he's a very emotional guy, isn't he? Zinchenko seems like he's very...
It's not like Ben White to go over and say anything.
No, I think it is like Ben White to say that. I think he's the player, and what I like about Ben White, he's a player, he's got that look, he will tell you. And he's probably told him.
Do you think... I never think it was like that, did you?
I didn't think it was... I always thought... I switched off. As soon as the game finished, I went to the other channel to watch the Newcastle Villa game, so I didn't see the bit at the end. But So I've just took from it that it was Zinchenko would be the one who was coming on the pitch giving it out, but it was the other way around.
No, what it was, I think Ben White said something to him, then he thinking about then Mikel came on. I would have preferred that to just play out them two. It's not like they're going to have a fight. Play out, you go in the dressing room and deal with it there. But to see the manager coming out and try and talking to him right there and then...
You never did it on the pitch, did you, really?
So, no.
But you would do it in the dressing room.
Yeah, but there was a few of us who would do that, wouldn't there? Yeah, bad.
At Coventry.
Here we go. What's happening here, Gary?
I just remembered Coventry.
Give me a warning on these stories, will you?
I just remembered.
What happened?
Just before half time, I took a touch, believe it or not, before I went to cross it, and Roy thought I should have crossed it first time. Yeah. And I went, fuck off. Anyway, at half time in the dressing room, I think you came with you Coventry.
Did you grab him?
Did I grab you? I think not a chance, Gary. Are you sure?
I don't think you forget if someone grabs you, man.
I think so.
I don't think I
do you remember it? No.
You done something aggressive.
Everybody in these podcasts, Rory's the same. Just tell lies about me. Jesus.
You call him Rory a liar.
Rory's a liar.
Did you have one on the pitch, but your own player?
What?
Have you ever had anything?
No, but you know what? While you're playing...
You must have had a fight on the pitch with the player.
No, it's funny because I remember Merce.
Did you make the cross against Coventry?
No, I hit the first man. That you said
Right, so
you were making
football, yeah.
you said I should have put it in first time, basically.
so
But
I
the ball
was
was a
right, okay.
bit fast to me, so I had to control it.
No, when I was playing, it was more a case like I remember with Merce. You know what I mean? If Merce didn't put it in or something, I'd say, "You fucking wait. You wait till we get inside." You know, but it was all. I was too wound up. Some of the time it was too wound
I know.
up. You know what I mean? I was like that.
Yeah, but that's the way you are, right?
I ended up fighting.
I didn't like it. I think George Graham
Arbeloa,
kept
didn't
me
I?
like that, though. I didn't
Arbeloa
want to
good.
be like that.
Yeah.
Jesus, go easy on yourself.
What was he? Below fullback.
Yeah, so we were playing West Brom away, and he was just a solid, like, he was a solid fullback, you know what I mean? He just kept I wasn't getting the protection I needed.
It always comes back to that right.
Was it the one where who was up front for them? Was it Lukaku killing you? I remember the game. Was it Lukaku?
No, we won the game. We was
All
like
right. Lukaku did murdy though, didn't he?
probably like you, but like Bondo.
A guy who's played against Man United 21 times and won once and fucking shouts his mouth off. Jesus.
No, but I ended up grabbing someone by the throat, my own player. He wouldn't
On
shake
the
hands.
pitch? You're out of order.
Who wouldn't shake
What
hands?
happened?
Well, the game is really won, to be fair. I'm thinking we've got to get our clean sheet. And he's just almost like playing like a right winger and they're attacking and it's come and I've just been like a lunatic and he's just been there and I've grabbed him and then Alonso's come over at everyone. And I'm just there, but then got in the dressing room afterwards, but he was having none of it, like.
And who was that, Jamie? Sorry.
Arbeloa.
Oh yeah.
He was, yeah.
These things happen.
He was a decent. Ended up winning the World Cup. Okay, no.
No, but them incidents are no big deal, are they? Really?
No.
I really don't.
No.
Yeah.
It never festered.
Yeah.
Don't fester. It should never fester.
Well, for
But
a
if
month
you-
or two, maybe.
When you look at where
It should never fester.
you know what? Should never hold a
I fell out with Pally. Me and Pally didn't speak for about 12 months. So.
Wow. In the same dressing
know
room that long.
When was that for? Was that night out?
I don't know, yeah.
Awkward. Why was he? Did he leave too early or something?
Over cold
Yeah.
cup.
Did he leave too early? You're one of those, aren't you? One of the bullies who.
Yeah.
fucking-
No, I wasn't bullying. It was just...
I hated that, you
What
know,
was
when
it
you go
over
on a
though?
night out and they force you to
Pally's
stay.
like-
Pally's a good guy.
Nice
He's
guy
a
in the world,
brilliant
yeah.
guy, yeah. But listen, you just have these disagreements, don't you? But
What about when you went to train, you had to walk past your teammate and blank each other?
just do that.
Oh my God.
There's loads of them.
We had a wall around Roy in the dressing room. He was in a cubicle. Oh, joke.
Oh, Pally's a good guy, but
Yeah.
these things happen. I fell up with Giggsy. Giggsy wouldn't do a function one time at the club. I was fuming with him. And I think Giggsy didn't speak for
Oh, do you know,
5, 6 months.
6 months. Yeah, do you know something? So I was there that morning, right? So I used to get in like.
Was I right? Was I in the right, Gary? I know Giggsy's your mate
Tell the
now.
truth, Gal.
Class of 92 and all that.
So I walk in at 8 o'clock in the morning to the dressing room. I'm in there first. And then Giggsy comes in and sits there. We were only three of us in the dressing room, me, Roy and Giggsy. And I think someone had spoken to you at reception.
No, we
about,
had to do something for the club that morning, yeah. And we all had to take our turns.
So basically, they started arguing. I thought, and they've both got them eyes, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
You know,
Giggsy's got them as well.
No, Giggsy wouldn't do what Giggsy had to
so
do
they
something.
started, and I thought,
Right,
this
and we
is
all done it.
fucking
And it was like,
catching me
Giggsy, they're waiting for you. And he
cars,
went, I'm not doing it. I went, we've all had to do it. And he went, I'm not doing it.
I remember
And
you
said, "You're a
saying,
joke." Yeah.
I remember you saying, oh, you've done stuff for your testimonial or something like that. I remember that. Anyway, this went on for about 5 minutes. I thought, I'm getting fucking out of here. There's nothing I can do here. So I walked out. I came back in 10 minutes later. They were still going. Yeah.
Yeah, we kept that up for a few months.
5, 6 months.
So who's in the wrong with that one?
Giggsy, obviously.
But you know something? So
Well, you know what? When you have to do something at your club, nobody wants to do anything at the club. Players nowadays, and you're like, Giggs, you have to do what we've all just done it, and it's just your turn next.
Well,
I
Giggsy
forget
did
what
a lot as well, didn't he?
Sorry?
I don't know why Giggsy said he wouldn't do it. Because
And Giggsy was obviously good with stuff
Giggsy
like
was good
that.
with stuff
Giggsy
like that, you know what I mean?
It was just that
He wouldn't
particular
do it.
day, which I don't mind. He went, I'm not doing it. I was like, but we've all done it, and I just was irritated by him. Simple as that. You fall out with anybody. You didn't speak to anybody for months.
No, don't do that.
You're
Do you know,
the- any of them
even
parks?
he'd have the Coventry thing on the Saturday, because obviously, like, you squared up in the dressing room, obviously didn't speak after that. I came and saw you on Monday morning.
To apologise. Did you watch the video back? Put it in first time.
So, Gal, was that one of those, like, all the weekend you think, you know, I'm going to
I'm
go
thinking, no, I can't let things go on like that. Just like, no, let's get it out of the way. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't be the person in the dressing room I was without, like, not
You need
speaking to
it.
it. I could
That's
not
what I'm
speak to him
saying.
for 5-6 months.
Yeah.
No chance.
How can you do it as a captain, not speaking to the centre half for like a
I don't think I
year?
was,
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I was captain.
I was skiing. I had a night out with James on Friday night.
Tell you what, you've a hard old life, don't you? I tell you what. Fucking Thailand
What you
skiing.
do? What you,
He was doing West Brom Wolves in the FA Cup.
2 weeks ago, he told me to fucking calm down.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you told him to relax.
Exactly.
So what? You lot in the same place?
So I wake up and I get the Klopp news.
Right.
He then texts me, he's actually in the same place skiing.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh no.
I need to come and see you, Gal. I'm not. I'm not right.
Can I read you what he sent me?
Go on. Yeah.
I'm in Courchevel. Your manager is fucking off, and that's you lot fuck for another 30 years.
I'm so happy. Should we start with Marcus? I'm a little bit worried about him.
I saw you do a nice.
I'm a little bit worried
Nice
about him.
constructive.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
It was
worried
lovely,
about him.
Gal.
I think when someone who's been as peaceful and quiet for the last 7 or 8 years, had been almost in some ways perfect for 10 years in terms of his behaviour, and then the last 3-4 months, there's a couple of things happened. I always think, is he all right? What's going on with him? It's one of two things. He's either struggling, or he's thought, I don't give a fuck. It's one of those two things, and I don't think it's that. You know what I mean? I don't know where you're at with it, but he's getting a lot of attention. I mean, that'll have happened in all our dressing rooms where a lad's not turning into training or just come in and.
It's a massive.
It's just on the back of a few other things over the last few months, isn't it? Like the incident he has, he's obviously been drinking for a couple of days, and I think that on his own it's not the end of the world. We've all been there. We've done all that. We've done a lot worse than that.
Yeah, but
Well, you mentioned there, Gary, about he was almost perfect. I never felt for 1 second previously.
We've never heard anything about him, though, have
Yeah,
we?
true enough. But I don't think he was ever that perfect, and the stuff he was doing off the field, and of course he gets a lot of credit for that, of course. But I never thought, again, he'd some sort of halo above his head. But I also don't think now for 1 minute he's some sort of nasty, bad lad.
No.
I think he's just certainly made a few mistakes and very close to each other. The profile of United, the fact United are struggling. He's an easy target. We mentioned the last time when he went out after his birthday. His decision-making at this moment in time is obviously not very good. But he's 26. We've all been there. We've made daft mistakes. I don't think his attitude is of I don't care anymore type of thing about the game. I don't think so. No. Listen, we could be wrong, but he just needs to. He needs to stop. Again, he needs to stop. His behaviour is that of an idiot. But I don't think he is. I think he's just making a few mistakes on the back of each other, and he's high profile now. And we see people out there, phones, people want to ring in and get players in trouble. But he's giving people the opportunity, of course, to go after him.
I don't want to make assumptions about exactly what's going on because something's definitely gone.
He's gone out on the Thursday. He's gone over to see his friend playing Ireland on the Thursday in Belfast. I think what's happened is he's obviously, booked his flight back for 7-8 o'clock. He's obviously had a couple of drinks before that and thought, I'm enjoying myself. I'll put it back to the morning, thinking I'll get into Manchester at 8:30, go to training. He's obviously gone a little bit longer than he should. He's woke up in the morning. He's not felt great. You know what I mean? I think that's what's happened.
You know what? I think, like with me, when you look back at your career, and there's certain things that I missed out on, not through my own fault, not for not trying and stuff like that, and you regret that. You know, one of the things that I hope don't happen for him, and you know what I mean, I say this from a place of love and you know what I mean, for him and care, is you don't waste it, man. Don't waste it simply because we're talking about someone who's come through the United Academy. That's tough. You know, he's constantly in the spotlight. He's one of those where...
And he's a local lad.
Yeah, he's a local lad. He's come through the academy with the pressure that comes with come through the Man United Academy, get into the first team, scores a couple of goals, scores in his debut for against us at Arsenal, scores for England. You're thinking, wow, the potential. When you look at the potential of someone like Marcus Rashford, his ceiling could be anywhere. We saw last season what he is capable of doing when he's consistent. But then you look at it, you think to yourself, you can't help but look and think to yourself, well, he's circle. And now he's got a tight circle. He's got a lot of mates that when he was younger. But at some stage, when you look at the drop-off in what's happening to him, we're like, what's happened to Marcus Rashford? Why is he doing this? It's about his inner sanctum to get together.
But to those people, righty, I agree with Roy in that. I don't ever believe he was this saint that he was made out, and this inner circle. I think he done a great job with Marcus in terms of I think there was a lot of PR around him. And listen, that's the way of the world now. It put him as if like he was this guy that was almost going to save the world, when he's just a young lad from Manchester. He's got a few quid, he's a brilliant footballer. Now and again he's going to get in a few scrapes. This is one that he's in. But I'm with you. I don't think there's anything worse than seeing someone not fulfil the potential.
Yeah.
We've all got different sort of, you're saying how high his ceiling is. When you think of the actual attributes he's got, I mean, the pace, the strike he's got with the right foot. But he is, and I feel for him a little bit, because I've always said this for me, Rashford, if Rashford is Manchester United's best player, which I'd probably say he is, or best attacker, I don't think Man United can win anything big. And that's not a criticism of him. I just think they probably need someone a level of, he's almost like your second or third guy in that front three, and Man United then can win a league or a Champions League. And I just feel there's that much sort of pressure, there's that much scrutiny on him to be the guy who gets the goals.
Is it too much for him, do you think?
Because I don't think he's quite good enough to be the Rooney or, you know, the Andy Cole maybe, who got the goals in the treble season, or Dwight York. And because there's nobody else there, you've got Martial, Højlund's still a young kid, there's young kids around him, players who've been brought in are not nowhere near good enough. And he's seen as like, he's Manchester United's guy. And Man United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. I don't think he's quite good enough to be the main man for Man United.
I don't think he wants to be the main man.
No, I'm not saying that, bro. I just think if Man United had better players around him,
Yeah.
I think we'd look at Rashford then maybe slightly different.
And I think if United were maybe at the top of the table and they were doing well and they're winning stuff, this stuff would be, I don't think it'd be such profile.
It's worrying
It is worrying, yeah, but he's 26. He's 26 years of a lot of experience in terms of footballing, as a footballer, but he's 26. My kids are... He's going to make mistakes, and he has to make his own mistakes. And I know there's a lot of people talking about the people around him. It's like years ago when people talk about Gaza. You know, you got to get... These lads are still... They're going to make their own mistakes.
Well, you don't think that 26...
Do you think they're forcing the drink down him? They're forcing him to go to bed?
No.
He's doing that He's doing that himself.
But I think that 26 is the kind of age, especially what he's been from where he is and what he's capable of doing. Obviously, Man United have got to start getting themselves where, you know, players like probably want to be, winning things again and being at the top of the game like they were. But 26 is an age where you know now. He's got. No, man. You know now. You know, where he wants to be, where he should be going.
The last few months we've been doing this chat, and we've been chatting about stuff we've done in our careers, mistakes we made. You've spoken about it. We've all done, and we were all older than 26 when we were doing daft stuff. So what he's done in the last week in terms of going on a bender for 12 hours. Let's relax a second. 12 hours. Listen, 12 hours is like a warm-up session. I'm serious, and I'm not playing it down.
No.
It wasn't Courchevel.
How long is it? We don't know how long this is going on.
Of course we don't know, but it's as if you look at him every week, whatever about his mindset. We've said, does he look like he's enjoying the game? Obviously not. There's something amiss. We know that. But we played against Spurs 2 weeks ago. He played some really good stuff, and he was running. It's not as if you were looking at him going, Jesus, I think his legs are gone or whatever. Yeah, there's stuff going on without a doubt. But I think
he's had a few bevies, hasn't he? And he's thought he's going at a certain time, and a good song's come on. He thought, oh, here we go. I'll have another one.
Hey, one more. Hey, we've all been there.
Do you think he's also looked at it's Newport on Sunday, and actually I can get back to
all that would probably go in the mix, definitely. But a few months ago, remember, obviously we've spoke about here when he was his birthday and he went out. You go, okay. If you look at every incident, or the time I think it was Wolves, he was late for a meeting, the manager punished him. So all these little habits are not good. But if you look at them a one-off stuff, you're not going, Jesus, he's been caught up to all sorts.
Yeah.
He's doing daft stuff.
The thing this morning, reading the headlines in the newspapers and the stories, it looks like there's a few people, to me, it feels like a few people briefing against him as well, because there are things in there that, you know, his teammates are sick of him, he's distant in the dressing room.
Yeah.
So there's things that have come out this morning that means that there are people either in the dressing room or connected to the dressing room that are giving him a little bit.
Maybe.
So he hasn't got that, you know, sometimes you think about support in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Who this morning is grabbing hold of him in that dressing room and saying, look, come on, sort your shit out, basically.
Yeah.
You know what's right and wrong.
There's manager and the staff there, remember, and listen, family. Because a lot of time people talk about the manager and the club have got to get hold of him, but you're still only about a few hours of your life at the training ground. It's more his families to people.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying.
But also not being too hard on him. He's been on a drinking session. He was late for training.
It's unusual.
Let's get the balance right.
Roy, to hear of a player going on a drinking session in 2024 is quite unusual. I know it wasn't in the day where we played, but today, when was the last time that we actually?
That's true. I get that, but let's get it. Yeah. Let's look at it properly and go.
No.
the few mistakes he's been making, and of course we look at him off the pitch. We've always said, does he look happy in himself? And the answer is probably no. He signed this mega deal. He's earning like crazy money. Football's been good to all of us, but it was never that 300, 400, 500 grand a week. And then it's not one or two cars. It's a set. And then again, I always go back to it. The distractions off the field, losing the hunger, all this stuff, and that comes into it. But I still go back to
if he was playing well, if this has
he
happened
played well
last season...
Jamie, he played well a couple of weeks ago against Spurs.
No, but what I mean is, in terms of having a great... Last season,
Consistently.
at one stage, I mean, he was almost rivaling Haaland. It was almost like the player of the year last year. If this happens last year, there's no doubt, I'm not saying it gets brushed under the carpet, but it's a bit like, you get away with it. It's just because Man United are playing so poorly, and he's having a real poor season as well. I think it blows up even more. I don't think it's the end of the world, but obviously, we know it can't
they've dealt with
continue.
it, innit? They find him, right? They find him.
I
There's
suspect
statements come out. And
Yeah.
You do want it to kind of like, okay, bam, like you're saying, you know what I mean? It happens. But remember, there's people who want to keep this going. Talking about somebody embarrassed this government, man. He's gone into a world when he's doing all that, the food and everything, feeding him. He's gone into a world where he's embarrassed people. Now he's in a situation where it's not going well for him.
He's got to take the flak now,
He's got to take it. But this is what I'm saying with the people. He just needs to.
Are you worried about him though, Wrighty, from a bigger perspective? Or do you think it's just a blip?
At the moment, I'm a little bit worried. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit worried. I'm hoping it's a blip because, like you say, at 26, you can have a blip and then you might have enough time to get it back. But I'm just worried if it doesn't come back.
The penny has to drop for him, of course.
That's the thing. I don't want him to regret.
But you're on about the dressing room lads. But when we done daft stuff in the dressing room, you weren't going into the dressing room. The lads weren't patting you in the back either for going, hey, well done for missing training yesterday. I spoke about me missing training many years ago. It does happen, but...
When did you miss training, Roy?
Remember I told you I came back late one time from... I went up to Nottingham to watch a reserve match. I'd only just come to United, and I came in 4 or 5 hours late. Yeah, traffic. Yeah, but you see, again, but lads weren't patting me on the back. But there was no lads putting their arm around me either. You're not about Marcus getting that bit of protection. Sometimes you are on your own. You're 26. You're an experienced player in the dressing room. But there also has to be that balance where you look and go, listen, you've been daft. You've done something silly. You're getting fined. I've often done that. What you hold your hand up and go, listen, I have been an idiot.
I'm more worried about him on the pitch.
Yeah,
not like, listen, that happens. We've all been there. We can all tell a story.
Usually connected though, aren't they? When you start making decisions off the pitch like
yeah, but
that,
I think there's, but as you said, I don't think it's happened too. I don't see him as like a boozer or a drinker. I don't know if it's a case of he hasn't actually been in the team, has he really?
I interviewed him in the summer, Carragher. He said he has 10 days where he relaxes at the start of the summer, and then after that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, it might be something on the fact that he hasn't actually been in the Man United team, and it's a poor Man United team. He hasn't been playing too often, has he? Of late, he's been a little bit in and out, and I just think maybe a little bit of frustration. He's had a couple of bevies. If I was talking about Marcus Rashford, I'd be talking more about his body language on the pitch. And I said this a few weeks ago. I think as a local player, me and you know, there is something extra, a bit more extra pressure, and sometimes that can engulf you a little bit. But sometimes I want to see him more on the pitch, not scoring goals necessarily, but more being that leader, that sort of taking responsibility, having better body language on the pitch. That's what I'd be more bothered about.
Eric Ten Hag's decision is he's got to obviously discipline him to obviously make sure that the rest of the dressing room see it's not right. It's not right, you miss a game at Newport, but also make sure he doesn't end up with a Jadon Sancho situation on his hands where he pushes him away and ends up with a sort of bigger, massive crisis going into the rest of the season. Does he leave him out tonight of the game just as a sort of little message, a little thing?
Well, the manager's priority is to win the next game of football.
Yeah.
I think move on quickly from it. Yeah. If you think he's going to help Man United get a victory and he's been punished, he's obviously had a fine or whatever,
play him.
Then you play him if he thinks.
Have you done? Has anyone, when you were a manager, Roy, there will have been someone with a breach of discipline. Yeah. And what was your action in those instances?
Well, again, every situation is different. But when I've probably disciplined players who were late, I would move on very quickly with them. If they were out of order, you take the punishment, especially if they were like genuine about it or they were late. It happened a number of times at Sunderland, and I would move on to be back involved in the group. Absolutely, especially if they were good. Bad ones are banished. No. How long do you punish a player?
Yeah. Not play the best players.
No, they're not. It's a worry, though.
I think it's a worry. I hope it's a blip, but I think it's a worry because if someone's making those decisions that doesn't ordinarily make those decisions, what's going on in it?
The bigger picture, your worry is for these incidents.
Twice.
Has he gone off? Yeah.
That's
has he lost that real? Again, we talk about is a young lad and the pressure and local lad, all that comes into it. But he doesn't look like he's enjoying his football anymore. And all that. I agree. It does go hand in hand with whatever's happening off the pitch and on it. And I look at him and you see him in the warm-up. So when he contributes to a goal, it's Football
Looks
looks
like
like
his
it's
mind's
it looks like it's a chore to him. Football looks like
yeah.
a chore, and it shouldn't be.
No.
Listen, obviously there's pressure with everybody out there, but he's a big player for United. He's shown before he can produce, and he needs to get back. The cars, all the watches, all that is great, but don't forget what comes first, your football. Good luck with all that other stuff, but if that starts becoming more important than your football, then you are in trouble.
Right, talking about trouble. Liverpool in a bit of trouble, aren't they?
What, top of the league?
Going for the quad.
Here we go.
What a
for the
lovely
club.
segue. I'm in a lovely little restaurant having a coffee, mid-morning coffee, and the news breaks. Jurgen Klopp's leaving Liverpool.
Right.
Just something.
The news, nobody gave you a heads up on it, Gary? No inside?
No.
I thought
Not
they'd done
Liverpool, no.
brilliantly. Liverpool
Do you know
keeping that
something?
quiet. Go on.
It reminded me of my last year at school when the news broke at lunchtime about Kenny Dalglish leaving Liverpool back in the day, when I thought, that's big. That's big. That's like the moment where you think the era could be over.
Wow.
The sort of, and I felt the same way on Friday. It's almost like a massive big cloud just lifted above my head and the sun appeared. But
And it was me.
no, but on a serious note, I mean, he is, and I've said this, I think he's the most exceptional manager and someone who has not just been brilliant for Liverpool, but unbelievable for the Premier League. Connected Liverpool, the city, the fans, the team, the spirit, everything has been unbelievable for 7 or 8 years. And I remember when, for the early years, when you saw it grow and you thought, oh no, here we go, this is proper, this. And he's created that there. How the hell in the world do you even begin to think about replacing him?
I'm not sure you can replace him as someone being Klopp. You know, Klopp's. The big thing about Jurgen Klopp is people think I've got some sort of relationship, but I haven't really. But I have seen him in private at times, or little meetings, and he is exactly what you see on TV. It's not an act. It is him. You've obviously interviewed him as well, and I think whoever comes in, it's just obviously got to be themselves. They can't be Jurgen Klopp. But I always go back to, I think it was a testimonial at Man United. I think it might have been for Michael Carragher, and I was playing in it. And Alex Ferguson was the manager of one of the teams, and he was just coming around the dressing room. And Klopp had been announced like 2 weeks before. And he said to me, oh, you've got a manager. And it was to do with the, when they go to them UEFA meetings, all the top managers in Europe come together. So he's seen Ferguson there, and I think Klopp's being himself, even though, Ferguson, maybe Mourinho's there and Pep's there, he's being Klopp, and he's only at Dortmund then. And I always remember Klopp came on Monday Night Football, and I asked him about going to these meetings. He said, oh, I only went twice. I said, I thought they meet every year. He went, yeah. He said, I just wanted to check if I was good as them, and I was. So I didn't need to go again.
Wow.
And that's what he said, and I thought, wow, that's just a man who's just
Very confident.
very confident, very happy in his own skin. And the job he's done is, listen, he's a god in Liverpool. Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen this season? But when I got the news, it was like, whoa. For a couple of hours, I was like, I just couldn't process it. I couldn't.
I saw him at lunchtime. He said, I'm absolutely gutted. And he was with an entourage of people from Liverpool who were equally as gutted. They were absolutely devastated.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can't even think of what that would be like. It would be like wenger leaving after like 5-6 years. That would have been devastating.
Yeah.
For Arsenal. Even when I heard it, I kind of made a quip the other day saying about, listen, people constantly calling me a closet Liverpool fan. Obviously, I watched a lot of Liverpool when I was younger, but I remember saying, listen, if the first impression was like shock and then sadness, then you probably have to say that I am, because I was quite sad for him. Simply because in this era, when you're looking at a couple of generations of Liverpool fans with 30 years, they haven't seen anything like this. And he's all they know. With Shankly and Paisley and everybody, Kenny Dalglish, everybody came before. This is what they know. So I can imagine the devastation. And people say, well, that's a big word, but it's devastating. It's devastating news.
And for Liverpool, I think, is probably different to every club in this country in how they treat managers. At Liverpool, the manager is
the one.
The man. So people will look back on this era of, this is Klopp. It was Shankly, it was Paisley, it was Dalglish, it was Benitez, Champions League winner. I don't think I've ever seen another stadium where there's actually a banner just with managers' faces on at Liverpool. It's just like, every time he speaks, every press conference, everyone's just sort of... He's probably the only manager in the world who can have a go at his own fans. And the fans go, he's right. You know what I mean? The atmosphere wasn't great, was it? You know what I mean? It's like every other manager knows you never have a go.
I wasn't that shocked. I don't know. I wasn't.
I saw that. Why wasn't you shocked?
I just think in football and these managers and the stresses and the personalities of them. Obviously, we know Pep done it, and he's been there 9 years. I just wasn't that shocked. I don't know what it was. But I agree. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. I think talk about management, and obviously he's got to win football matches, but the way he comes across, I think, was it one of his first games? I think they might have drew home to West Brom, and he got all the players. Remember, I remember going,
yeah,
you're drawn home to West Brom and all that. But he was obviously trying to obviously build something. Then he was getting some top players in, but he has been. I think I've been really drawn towards his. As you said, his interviews, he's proper natural, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's not really...
Yeah. And that thing, Roy, that probably sums him up in some ways. And that I think it's a bit of a German thing that you do after games.
Yeah, of course.
To the crowd. But it was a draw against West Brom. But everyone
was it West Brom? I think it was West Brom,
West Brom. But that's one of those things as a manager, or even as a player, you're doing it, probably think, we're going to get slaughtered for this. Yeah. But he's that strong personality. Yeah. He'll front it and go, well, I did it because of that. I don't care. He doesn't care what anybody thinks.
You know what? It's the you know, you've seen all the conspiracy, the theories of why he's doing it. Listen, I just think that it's just time.
Yeah.
In his head, it's just time. It's nothing else. You know, you look at Michael Edwards. He left, and you know what I mean. He had to take on even more. I can't even imagine and get into the realms of his world in respect of the chasing down what he's done in these last 5-6 years. You know, then you know the pressure you're under to get Liverpool back to where they are. You know, and he's now leaving them. He's leaving them in a great place.
You see him on the sideline as well, right? The way he manages, the energy he must, you know.
The love, the genuine love.
I think last year took a lot out of him in terms of, you know, not going really well and trying to build again. But what you got to remember is, even though we're saying this guy is a great manager, if you go back to his Dortmund time as well, he's had a lot of disappointment in that. He's lost a lot of finals. He's lost leagues on the last day at Liverpool. And we all know as players, losing a final or losing something really close, it's hard to come. It's like that thing of like lifting yourself, and I think that's one of his biggest strengths, his actual energy and his ability to lift himself again. But he has had to lift himself an awful lot.
Too many times for me, especially who he's up against. It's tough. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're just like, you know what I mean? Somebody's just up the top of the hill all the time, and you're trying to get there, and then you know, it's devastating for me. You know what I mean? Losing a guy like that simply because he's lost his energy. You know, he's lost his vibe, he's lost his energy for it.
I don't look at him on the sideline thinking he looks tired either, don't get me wrong.
Did you see the interview, what he done? Yeah. When you saw that, as much as, you know what I mean, the honesty, but he looked...
But I've not been seeing him every week. It's him and Pep. I look at two managers every week, and obviously it does help if you're winning every week. And to me, they're the two managers who always look... They look full of energy and they look bright. Some managers you look at, you go, oh, they've not slept for a few nights. You can get that. And I get if you're winning every week, it does help. But I've not looked at Klopp and thought, oh, you look drained.
Doesn't that say even more?
Yeah, even more so, right? Of course, I agree with you. But obviously, we still don't know what's going on inside with a manager and his family going, it's every day. You're up and at him, and you're travelling in Europe, and Liverpool, you're challenging for trophies, and you're competing with a brilliant Man City team. And that has to take its toll. It has to.
Where does he appear again, do you think, in the future?
I listened to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about the what's getting spoken about in the German press, and it's almost this feeling over there that he'll end up being the German manager, because Germany haven't. I think Nagelsmann's the manager, but it's not. He's almost the manager, I think, until the tournament. Yeah. I think it's like an interim thing. So, but whether that would be enough for him, or whether he'd want to do that straight away, because he looks. I think. Once he's had the break, I think he will want to get back into something. But does the national team...
Do you think it's a year out, do you think? Or do you think it's just a few months in the summer and then
he said he wanted a year out after Dortmund, and then 3 months later he's manager of Liverpool. You know, so I think in his head, I don't think he's got anything lined up. I think in his head he's thinking, I want to have a break. But if something comes up that you can't say no to, but...
He'll have good options, but
he will have options, but I do think Jurgen Klopp... I couldn't imagine Jurgen Klopp managing Real Madrid or Barcelona. I
can't see him at Real Madrid, but I can see him at Barcelona.
No, I think for him it's the emotion, it's the crowd, it's Dortmund against Munich, it's Liverpool against the world.
He won't do Munich, would he? He won't do Munich, would he?
Listen, I don't know. I don't know how big that rivalry is between Dortmund and Munich. My point being is, I think the clubs that he's had, it's been built on emotion. You know, Dortmund, that big stand behind, you know, Anfield, Mines I don't know too much about. I can't see him sort of sitting there watching Barcelona playing this ticky-tacky football. I couldn't, it'd have to be almost, it's him, the support, us against the world, and we're going for it. I can't, so that's why I look at some clubs and think, where does he actually sort of go? Because it feels like Liverpool suits everything about that more than anyone.
Him saying that he wants a year and then 3 months he's taking it, you couldn't turn down that Liverpool, especially even that Liverpool at that stage. It was a tough Liverpool to probably take on with the expectation. I think that now he's got himself to a level of manager where he can probably take a year off and it doesn't make any difference. He doesn't need to, I've got to take that job, otherwise, I'll never get that again. I think that he's gone to another level. He should take.
But he turned down United, didn't he, before he went to Liverpool? He just, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he offer the United job? So he's smart enough to pick the right fit for himself. You know, it is like Liverpool was probably a better connection for him. I'm not saying you turned down United, but for Klopp, he had that.
I mean, I'm the Liverpool guy here. Do you worry that this galvanises Liverpool to the end of the season, or do you think it'll have the opposite effect?
I was going to ask you that. It's either going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be grow into a massive wave of emotion that's going to work, or it's going to be a case that you go out of a competition, all of a sudden there's a massive dip because everyone thinks he's good. How do you think it will go to?
I don't think it'd be a negative. I don't see it as a negative.
No, I don't say.
I instantly thought
I see it as being like a
players, especially with the interview what he done, and he made it clear. You know when people do those interviews and they're talking about, listen, don't make it about me, but deep down they kind of make it about me, kind of. But like he genuinely wants the guys to focus on what's happening because it could be quite a special season for them. Now, if it does transpire that they end up winning it and then he goes out and, you know what I mean, in blaze of glory, good luck to him. I don't see it going any other way in respects of not going out in a blaze of glory, not saying they're going to win it, but I'm saying the players dropping off. No. I can't see that at all.
I just think the atmosphere now at Anfield, almost every game will be like a European game because how many games are left at Anfield? Probably Klopp might have 15 to 20 games left at Anfield. You know, so I can imagine the support just thinking every game we're going to try and make this like a European night, and that has to help.
Jen, what about the worry of like not only losing the manager but like the director of football? So what's going to happen in that, Jen? What happens? You get the director of football and the manager, you get the manager, but to get those two.
Well, Jurgen Klopp came into a structure at Liverpool where it was seen, this word was used a lot about almost like a transfer committee. That term was used when Brendan Rodgers was there. Jurgen Klopp then came in with people there, you talk about Michael Edwards and the team around him. Some of those people are still there, and that was a brilliant team together. And there's no doubt there's too much being said about it, that Michael Edwards and half of his team sort of moved on because Jurgen was becoming more powerful, but that's normal. When a manager has success, he becomes more powerful and he wants more saying things, and I totally get that. And Liverpool right now have basically had 3 directors of football in about 12, 18 months. So Michael Edwards left, the guy behind him came in, Julian Ward, he left after about 6 months, and they didn't have one. And a German guy came in who I think Klopp's agent knew quite well to do the deals over the summer. He's leaving in the next day or two once this window's finished. So Liverpool have not just got to find a manager, they've got to find all the staff, because all the staff are leaving with Klopp because they want to be managers in their own right.
It's a dangerous period.
Yeah, and then you've got to get a director of football. So this is not just about getting a manager. FSG have got to get a huge structure around this manager who's coming in, because Klopp was at a stage where everybody needs help, but he was that big a figure, he was that sort of confident in himself. He probably didn't need the structure as much as when he first came in, but a new manager coming in now is going to need real help.
James, is there a worry? Because I saw with Virgil van Dijk saying about the contract, he's going to kind of see what's going on now. You kind of feel that there's players there who probably signed, like probably all those midfielders, probably signed for Klopp.
He came out, he's actually come out and sort of clarified that and said he was misquoted or whatever that may be. But Virgil van Dijk's not the biggest worry, and neither is Mo Salah. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Those 3 players have got 18 months to go. In 18 months, Salah and Van Dijk will be 34, 35. So this thing about like, we could lose Van Dijk, well, it might actually be the right decision. In 18 months, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold's the one that you've almost got to build this team around for a new manager coming in. So that's the most important one. But yeah, I think Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk will probably in 12 months' time, the club will look at that and go, well, okay, you've got 6 months to go. How are you feeling as a player? You know, obviously they're both on big wages, and rightly so. But you'd want to keep them if they were playing as they are right now. But 18 months is a long time in football.
Liverpool had success in the 70s and 80s with a continuity path with the boot room, didn't they? But then when other managers who've been dominant at clubs have left, say Wenger at Arsenal or Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, there's been a huge sort of dip. How do Liverpool make sure that they don't go down that route of obviously the whole club going down when Klopp leaves, and obviously that sort of like that feeling of it's not the same. What do they do now to even try and replicate it in a different way? Same with City. He's coming at City with Pep at some point in the future.
Yeah, listen, there's no secret to say do this and this won't happen. You know, everyone feels like they've got a plan to go forward. I mean, Alex Ferguson picked the next manager in some ways, didn't he? Thought he was sort of helping the club, bringing David Moyes in. For me, if you're talking about who should come in, I think it should be Xabi Alonso, a former teammate of mine. He's very inexperienced in management. I think he's only managed, I think it's about 60, 70 games. But what you would have straight away is the club on side, not just because he's an ex-Liverpool player, because of the respect he had as a player. What he's done in 18 months at Bayer Leverkusen is pretty remarkable, in that they were basically in the relegation zone when he came in. He almost qualified for Champions League last year. He got to the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League, got beat by Roma. This season, they're top of the league, and they're in the Europa League. And you think of the managers he's been managed by, Ancelotti, Benitez, Jose, Pep, and the football that they play. And I just think he's the type of guy, if he came in, he'd have the crowd straight away.
Like
it wouldn't be
as well, you know, the level of player he's played with. I don't think it would be because you have to look at Xabi Alonso and you feel like, well, who else is a better candidate in respects of playing there, the levels he's played at, what he's achieved, the fact that a club like Liverpool's not going to engulf him in what he's doing. The fans are going to love him instantly.
Who are the contenders?
Well, people have mentioned De Zerbi, and I think in the Premier League in the last 18 months, he has won.
Will the manager need to win something, James? Does the manager need to have won something?
Listen, it would help, and Xabi Alonso could win something.
He could win the Bundesliga.
I mean, he could end up playing Liverpool in the Europa League final.
Wow, could you imagine?
But I'm talking about a team who haven't lost a game this season. In any competition, I haven't lost one game by a Leverkusen. So I do look at Alonso in terms of, I do feel like he looks like at the start of his career that he's maybe the next sort of, who knows how high he'll go, but the next sort of big name manager. And I think once you've had a Leverkusen who normally are a top 4 team, I would say, in Germany, sometimes they're in the Champions League, sometimes they're in Europa League. People might say he might need another job, he might need no more experience. But once you've been at that level, you want to go to that level where the next one's to really win, maybe with a big club. And if he doesn't go to Liverpool, he's going to probably end up at a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid, the clubs that he's played for. So, does
the timing of the Klopp announcement coincide with the fact that it allows Liverpool to get 5 or 6 months for a new manager? Do you think the timing was the thing that sort of shocked me a little bit, maybe, not the fact that he was leaving at some point? Do you think that it's because they needed to get their ducks in a row towards the end of the season, they're worried about it leaking out?
Well, he said that he told them in November, and they've decided.
But why was it announced this week?
Well, he said something in the press a couple of days ago. So you've got those players like Van Dijk, Salah, Trent, whether you're talking to new players in March, April. And he said, how can I be talking to them about...
So it's about the future. Yeah.
If I'm not even almost like lying to them in some ways, and also how would you keep something like that secret?
Especially if the club is starting to sound out managers, then people are going to say, "Oh, Liverpool's just been touching."
And also his own staff. I think he's trying to be helpful to them because they all are desperate to get into management, and also almost to give them time and not just announce it in March, April. I think he thinks he's doing the club a big favour by sort of announcing it now, as you said, to get themselves ready.
It's a shock, man. You know,
because again, we love characters, and he's been a great character.
The thing for me is football's fantastic. Yeah. I'm obviously not a fan of Liverpool, but when you go and watch Liverpool play football under Jurgen Klopp, you know it's going to be a good game.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter who you support. You have to look at what they've done and the way they're playing. Everyone has huge respect for that.
I was half hoping United had tapped him up. That would have been the killer blow.
Too late yet, Cam.
Right, Super 6. Right, so
What's up with your hair?
this is our Super 6
His
section.
face looks really fresh.
Yeah, he looks.
And Ben,
You've been skiing as well.
One sec,
his
Gav,
hair.
I'm trying to find out about Ben for a bit. What you
You've done something with
Ben?
your hair.
You've done
Have
something.
you? You've definitely
Had a
done
haircut.
something.
Had a haircut.
Nice one.
Thank you, Roy. Okay, last week's scores. Gary, you got 8.
And
Jamie.
You got so
And
lucky.
Jamie.
Why do you always
so
blank
lucky.
it, James?
Some of them.
What's up with you?
All right.
Tell me what I got right. Can you tell me what I
Oh
got right?
no, there was one
You
game.
got the results for Brentford, Nottingham Forest. Brentford win. Leeds
killed us,
win
we
against
had
Preston.
We had 2-2.
You got lucky.
United, West Ham draw, and then Bournemouth, Liverpool win. But you didn't get the scores.
You were a bit worried about that. They wouldn't hammer them.
So you beat.
You know, I'm listening to. I'm looking at the results now. I'm a nervous wreck. Hoping that we can get.
Go on, do you think Bournemouth or Real Madrid every week? Hey, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, I love Bournemouth.
You do.
76 points.
Oh, here we go.
But Roy,
No.
you got 9 points.
Oh,
So, you know,
And right, yeah.
small steps, small steps.
9 points.
closing the
And
gap.
Jill,
innit?
Jill,
And
uh,
Jill,
give
and
us
What's
Jill.
that put us on 12 points altogether?
49.
Where is Jill again, by the way?
She must be doing a gig. So.
The jungle,
She's strictly Big Brother, was she on? She must be on
dancing
something.
on ice.
We miss you, Jill.
Super 6 have got
my tracksuit.
Carabao Cup final tickets to give away.
Oh.
VIP ones.
Prawn
So,
sandwiches. Ooh, I
yeah,
like it.
if any player beats Gary's score, they'll be entered into a prize draw.
Wow, that's
So there you go. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of people in that draw.
There could be. There could
So-
be. Right.
Liverpool v Chelsea. I've just
Yeah.
been awarded that game by Sky. I'm going to do the game. Are you doing it?
I think so.
You'll probably be there. Are you doing it, Ryan, or not?
I don't think so,
Oh,
no.
you don't. You like Carabao Cup weekend off, don't you? Going skiing.
what's happening, bro.
Right,
on, let's go.
Do it, over to you.
Newcastle versus Luton. Is
You
it?
go first, lads. Go on.
Yeah. We're
3-0.
Newcastle 3-0.
Yeah.
Wow, you think that much?
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
Who's going first? I mean, because Jamie just came in. He was just like,
Yeah, I'll go. Do you want me to go
yeah,
first?
go on.
I'll go
Come on.
2-1. Sorry, 2-1,
Newcastle.
please. Yeah. Come on, don't be rushing me.
Brighton Palace. Ooh,
Oh, it's our turn.
what derby is that called? The what?
It's just.
The M.
I don't know. It's the M23 derby.
Is that
innit?
what it is?
Yeah, the M23 derby.
Brighton have had a bad result, haven't they?
They did, yeah. Palace down there.
Good record, have they?
I seen the stat.
really-
I seen the stat last. Brighton won 3 out of the last 16 in the Premier.
Something like
But
that.
they're
Yeah,
still 6 or 7 in the league.
they were terrible yesterday. But like Luton closed them down really
Right.
well. And I'm looking at Palace. They didn't do that to us, and I'm worried if Palace can get anywhere near Brighton. And
Don't overthink it either.
I have to because like if I get this wrong and say
still
Brighton
on?
are going to
Are you
beat
still
Palace,
on?
I'll be devastated.
You still on?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-2.
Oh, not sure about that. I think we'll Brighton win
okay.
you. Yeah.
You think Brighton are going to beat them?
Oh, I think so.
Brighton 2-1.
The fact is that Palace won,
2-1, yeah. 2-1 Brighton.
Off a little bit.
2-1 Brighton. So it's now West Ham, Fulham. Oh.
Palace have some
telling-
good.
Burnley.
Palace have some
Burnley.
good
Burnley.
tactics,
See,
That's
see
just
Eze's
Burnley
goals
changed
last
their
night.
goals.
badge this season.
Yeah, that's
You
not.
see Eze's and Elise's goals
Oh,
last night?
unbelievable.
Jesus Christ, them two.
Burnley's badge.
So
is,
West Ham, Fulham.
Burnley's badges. Would you know
Burnley,
that?
still
Oh,
Burnley.
Burnley. Fulham.
What did you say there?
Burnley, Fulham.
Burnley, Fulham.
Oh. I don't think Burnley are going to win, do you?
No.
Draw, lads.
Got 1-1 written all over it.
1-1. 1-1. We'll be right on that as well. That's a 5-pointer. Thank you very much.
Is it my go?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-1 as well.
Oh.
No, I do. I just
Follower.
feel in my bones.
Sheep.
Yeah, it's a draw.
Sheep.
Are we first?
I'm trying to think of what I argued in the dressing room at United. There was a few I
I went to
didn't
Villa yesterday.
Pally, I must say that story. We were in Marbella drinking all day and all night, and Pally wanted to go home about
3-1
half 4 in the
Villa.
morning. I thought,
3-1
dear.
Villa.
Yeah, Mrs. She's the bop on it. He swung at me, Pally, yeah.
What?
If he can hit me,
Was that what
me
it was?
watch up, yeah. Brucey stayed out till about 8 or something like that. Yeah. Real man,
Did
you
you,
know.
did you say something to him about what? Why was
I
you
know, because he was going home early. You were right.
What, 4:30?
thumbprint?
That's
Thumbprint
what I was saying, obviously.
What'd you
having
say,
a bit of a
nasty
laugh,
stuff?
And then he got nasty, you know. and
under the thumb. Thumbprint on
Yeah.
his forehead.
Right. Sheffield United, Villa. Oh.
Did you go 3-1 Villa?
I was disappointed. I didn't watch Villa last night. I watched the first game, the Arsenal.
Just,
Forest.
Yeah,
Villa
Newcastle
just
done well.
off.
Villa,
The wheels might come off with Villa.
I think 2-0 Villa.
Dear.
Hey, Villa manager to Liverpool,
Villa,
that's the
yeah.
rumour.
I always think when a good team get beat,
So I
they
heard on
go
the
like,
old-
oh,
Right,
the next
okay.
game.
Okay, we'll do that then. I don't feel it, so go 2-0 if he feels it. I don't feel that game at all.
Fucking shut up. You're not giving him a go.
United.
Fancy
Man
Villa.
United, West Ham, that game's on Sky first, isn't it? Before the Arsenal Liverpool.
Hey, whisper for Gary.
Is it us first?
I didn't know.
Roy,
I
it's
didn't know
us.
the
You're doing
first
that game.
was-
It's not.
Roy, it's us.
I'm doing the
no,
games.
It's them. It's
It's
your
us,
first.
it's us, it is.
No, they just went after us.
Yeah, it is us. United was. I think Man United. We're definitely winning that. We're definitely winning that.
2-0.
What?
Rashford.
Definitely.
We're definitely winning that.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No.
No.
Is it my
It's
go?
not my
I
pick,
go.
though. It's Roy's pick.
I go 2-1 United. Man
There
United.
you go. You see. And now it's the big one, eh?
wouldn't have gone out.
Big game at the weekend.
Oh, here we go, righty. Oh, is this?
Here
hey,
it is.
come on,
Here it
man.
is. Don't lose. Let's not lose. We can't lose.
No, we can't lose.
We can't lose. Let's see if he's confident enough to win.
Roy's saying I should go 1-1. I don't see them two drawing.
I'm not going to do
I'll
it.
go 1-1.
If it's a draw, I don't want to go.
See, I
do
said-
it. I'm bored
see
of
what
the
I've done
draws. There's been so many draws in the big games recently that I've done.
You wanna-
I'm sick of them. Just
we
someone
need
win.
to win. I want to go for us to beat Liverpool.
Go on, eh? Go Niners. Come on, pal.
We're not scoring
I'm with
enough,
you.
though.
Come on, give Arsenal's players some,
2-1.
give Arsenal
2-1
players some
Arsenal.
confidence.
Well done.
2-1 Arsenal.
I'm
We
with
need
you.
to.
Go on, I'll let you choose this one.
Yeah.
I would have probably said 2-1 Arsenal. But then, Liverpool just surprised me
You
this
can still go
season.
with 2-1.
I still wait
You can
for
still go with
Liverpool
2-1,
to
Gary.
Sort of like just dip
You
a
can still
little
go with
bit.
2-1.
But they're not dipping, are they?
Liverpool.
Your
big
man or a
galvani-
mouse?
Liverpool
Gary,
big
give me-
galvanised.
Yeah, your man or remote. Any
Carragher.
cheese there for Gary?
Cara, give me some feeling about where Liverpool you think are at now this week.
What, emotionally,
Salah,
you mean?
Salah, emotion of Klopp.
Well, Trent's back, Szoboszlai's back. The only one who's going to be missing is Salah, I think, for this game. I think it'd be 2-2.
Do you know something? I always think this, right, when I watch, and to be fair, it's usually when Salah's playing against Zinchenko on that side, I always think Liverpool are going to score at least
Yeah,
one.
but Jota's good out there.
That's what I'm saying. I just think I watch Zinchenko at left, and I love him as a footballer, but I just think when he's there in these types of games, Liverpool.
We need a score, Gary.
I'll go 2-2. I'll go 2-2, even though I said don't go for a draw.
I like
said
him,
don't go for a draw, I'm going for a draw.
Watched
Yeah.
him close, man.
Yeah.
He was good. I know they gave Bradley the man of the match, but
Looked good, didn't he?
Jesus.
I take a photo, Gary.
Of
course you can.
I'm going to take a photo.
Yeah, take a photo, Roy. Send it me.
He
because,
doesn't
like,
trust. He doesn't trust that he's getting looked after properly with his scores.
I do, but it's at weekends.
it's just that
On
we
Saturday afternoon, he's going to be there at Salford watching us against Wrexham, and he's going to be like,
No, but it's fun because
He's
like
gonna be
when the
getting
results
angry.
were going the other day, Gal, I was thinking I can't remember what we've done.
"Hey, Salford and
take-
Wrexham should have been on there, really."
Yeah, that would have been a good.
Can we,
yeah.
can we call it Super 7
Yeah.
this week?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, Salford and Wrexham are on the Super 7.
Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff.
I tell you what we'll do. Anybody who guesses the correct score in some sort of competition can
It's
come
a
in
free-
and can
watch
come in and
Salford.
Can come in and watch.
No, can go watch
show.
Salford.
Come in and watch me.
I'll
let you watch you. Just sit there.
I'll let you bask in
And be
my
shit
glow.
and be quiet.
To be honest, we just give them something.
Gary, do you think how that sounded?
Watch this
Roy, you're
show.
right.
Come and watch this show.
Come watch the show. They might not want
People
to.
would love to come and watch this show. I'm
Go watch
sure.
Yeah,
Salford.
but it's,
Yeah.
we just give them like a T-shirt. It's easier.
No.
Oh, they know that
They're not
it's
gonna
an
be-
experience. Two people can come and watch this show if they get. They can go into a draw if they get the correct Salford and Wrexham.
Is that the bottom
score.
prize?
Right, okay.
And then we put them into a draw, and then we select them to come here. There you go. The Super.
And then when they get here, they can
the Super
ask
7.
anything. They can ask anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
They can come in and ask a question.
Brilliant. Fuck it. Why not?
Brilliant.
Just go crazy.
Brilliant.
Right, what is it? Salford Wrexham. What's the
Put
scores?
Salford and Wrexham in there
Salford-
somewhere. Write it at the top where the points are or something. But
All right, okay, Gary.
Yeah.
It's a big game of the weekend.
You go
Come on.
first, Gary. You go first.
Salford. So we know he's got. Yeah,
I'm going to go 2-1 to Salford.
Salford 2.
That's Carl Robinson
Is
in a
it-
job for another week.
Yes. yes.
I don't know why I mentioned Salford, honestly. Always comes with some...
Is this a kind of grudge game? Because they're kind of
2-2.
like.
I'm going to go 2-2.
I mean, how's that work for you? I mean, you notoriously don't like people from Liverpool, but you've appointed a Scouse manager.
No, but you get over these things from a professional perspective. I played with Wayne Rooney for 10 years.
Plus,
But that wasn't your decision.
One of the
good.
greatest,
That
wasn't your decision.
One of the greatest Manchester United players ever was from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Didn't support Liverpool though. I think Carl does.
Done?
Done. Thank you.
Right. So basically, I just want to clarify another little rule. I think if either of our scores are correct on that, there should be 10 points. Do you agree? To each of us.
Wow,
so that it
because
goes
yes,
onto
a
the
throw.
10 points.
Yeah, I think 10 points for a correct score in that
So
game.
if we get-
It's a bonus fixture.
That brings us to.
It gives you a chance of getting
10
back into
points
it.
is a lot.
49, that brings
Great.
69.
The people at Super 6 will be delighted with this.
Yeah, we go with that. We go with the point.
10
points.
10-point bonus.
Yeah,
Please.
3 points for the correct score, for the correct result. So obviously, Roy's draw, I'm.
And then 7 points
whatever.
for the...
And then. He's done maths. I can't believe he's done maths. Right, let's move on. we're on the edge of the January transfer window, right at the back end of it. And who has been the best ever January transfer signing?
Oh,
Jesus.
the first one that comes to mind. I mean, Van Dijk would have to be up there, wouldn't
And
he?
Alisson. Same
He wasn't January, no. He was the end of the
Alisson-
season.
Van Dijk was.
I thought it was.
Listen, maybe I'm being biased. Luis Suarez was a January. Yeah, they're the two that jump out at me.
Vidic and Evra were January.
Yes. Was that 2006 or something?
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's brilliant.
Very good.
That was at the wages the club were saving me after I left.
Did they leave? Did they come in just as you left?
Freed up my wages for the two of them.
You know who I saw in January was Robert Huth. Went to Leicester.
Yeah.
2015.
Oh.
And I think they needed to win like...
Oh, and kept them up, and then won the league the
and
next
then won
year.
the league, played 30 games the next season, won
That's
the
a
league.
very good,
I think...
like, left field one. That.
That's great left fielder.
Am I going back a long time? But did John Hartson go to West Ham and score the goals that kept them up? Are we going back too far here now? Is that a bit?
January, yeah.
I think that... I can't remember that one.
Hartson and Kitson, I thought they signed in the
Yeah.
same window.
And two of them,
Harry Redknapp,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. We'll have to...
Do you when you say best January transfer signing, is it someone who's obviously gone on to become a great player, or is it someone who's had a massive impact, that's kept a team up, or has basically
I think the impact for a few months, surely. And you're including, obviously, loan signings as well, no?
Yeah, someone who went on and won the Champions League for a club, or someone who went on and won the league, or kept the team up.
But when you look at Van Dijk's, it changed everything in respect of how Liverpool could then play high and, you know, he could mop everything up. Obviously, Alisson coming afterwards, but you have to look at Van Dijk's signing as the one that really set the sails for Liverpool.
Signing, yeah.
Well, I always think January's either a panic, or you've got to overpay.
Yeah.
And when you think about Van Dijk, even though he's been brilliant, Liverpool had to pay 25 million more than they'd agreed because they got caught tapping them up earlier in the season. So they had to go another 25
But can
million
I just say,
to get him.
with that though, whoever was doing the job of mending that bridge, what they done when they tapped him up to then get Southampton to sell him in the end, was unbelievable work on their part to get that deal done after all that happened.
I've tried to wipe my interview that I did that night that he signed
St James's
from
Park.
record. It's a lot of money. People look back. It wasn't quite. They've overpaid, or it's a disastrous sign. It's like, bloody hell, that's a lot of money for a centre back. 75 million. You know what I mean? It looks quite cheap.
You know what was really cool about though? I remember watching him at Southampton, watching him at Southampton, and the way he played for both of them is exactly how he played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
People would say things like, "Well, he won't get away with that if he's." He got away with it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
I think he'd probably be.
we're not coming up with much more than Van Dijk, are we, at the moment?
What about one that went the other way? When I think of January, I think of Asprilla a lot, even though...
So I'm going to throw a name in.
Usually going for the tight.
I'm going to throw a name in now because I don't know if it was a January transfer window back then, but Eric came in...
September?
But he came partway through the season, you know what I mean? I said, I know, but he came late, didn't he? When did Eric Cantona? Someone tell me when Eric Cantona came to Man United.
October.
You know, you're just talking about brilliant signings.
So he came in November, which is almost a sort of a January transfer window.
Bruno Fernandes.
Seriously, Cantona counts. He's got to count on it.
Bruno Fernandes came in January, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes.
But I think Eric should count as a midwinter, mid-sort of season signing.
No, you can't. We're talking
How long's
about
winter now?
January.
Is winter 6 months now?
November's winter.
November's January.
Gary was skiing at the time.
I'm throwing Cantona in there.
No, you're just talking about brilliant signings.
No, in the middle of the season. It's got to be the January, because we're in January now,
Right.
obviously. Because I think it counts as that, really. It was a transformative...
Sorry, Gal?
It was a transformation to the whole club, that signing.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It was a transformative signing.
Transformative, that was what I was trying to say. Ian, yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Johnny Evans to Sunderland was a huge signing for me in the transfer.
And you got promoted.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ferguson done you a favour there, didn't he?
Huge favour, yeah. £1 million loan fee. Johnny wanted 20 grand a week. I remember ringing Johnny, obviously we'd done the deal, and he'd been up, to be fair, he'd come up the previous year when we were in the Championship, done well, and then we got him back in January, and again we had to give £1 million loan fee for the second part of the season, and Johnny was on about, I think he said it was about 10 grand a week, but I think Niall, the chairman, said, but Johnny wants 20. I said, 20? Fuck, a bit cheeky, innit? Like, he's on 10, young lad, I ring him, I go, Johnny, what you doing? You want 20? I went, yeah. He said, yeah, why not? He says, I read your book. And I was like, you read my book? He says, yeah. And he says, in your book, you said you got to negotiate hard and get as much as you can. We gave him the 20. Yeah. And he was brilliant. Yeah. That was Johnny, yeah. But Johnny, brilliant signing for us, absolutely.
It's been good to Ten Hag. He's done all right.
Wouldn't go that far, but he's been okay.
So, can we please put a name on the biggest or best transfer in the middle of a season? Forget January.
Van Dijk.
I'm going Cantona.
Van Dijk.
No, I'll probably say. I'm glad I mentioned Robert, but Van Dijk, the way he's changed everything. Changed everything. That's what you want, a transformative signing.
Transformational.
A transformational signing.
I'm thinking of a player we did a kind of, I look at it a different way. A player who's gone in and maybe just saved the club maybe also from the other side. And I keep drawing back to these strikers back in the day. I think John Hartson went to West Ham.
Tevez went to West Ham and Mascherano in January.
Right.
Yeah.
And they kept
That's
him
true.
up.
Yeah, but they ended up getting fined for that, didn't
It
it?
wasn't January,
Was it not January? No. When was
It
that?
was.
It's the November transfer window.
August to January.
Winter transfer window.
When did Carlos Tevez and Mascherano go to West Ham?
It looked like the
Start of
start
the
of the season.
Was it?
It was sunny and
It
everything.
was sunny with Pardew, wasn't it? And
And the Pardew was orange, I remember it.
When was it? August, oh, sorry. It was a bad autumn that year. Right, I'm going Cantona. I'm sticking with
I hope
what?
my stats, I hope John Hartson did go in this.
him and Kitson went in a January.
John Hartson, you're on John Hartson.
Maybe not
Okay.
of January, but it
Right,
was definitely.
we're throwing it out to you at home. Who is the best? Van Dijk,
Celtic.
what was it? John Hartson or Cantona? Would Gary be a centre-back in the modern game rather than a right-back due to the sort of height and pace conundrum now? That's the question.
Probably right.
What do you mean, the height and pace? You
Wait,
ain't
no.
quick. No, you weren't.
He was strong.
How many
strong
games did you
runner.
play centre half?
A lot. In the early days, a lot.
I'd probably have a centre half now.
That was 60 or 70, or nowhere near that many.
I'd say.
I saw you last.
I'd say 150.
I saw you last week. I watched an old game in this cup semi-final. Did you play against Chelsea?
Oh, Hullet header.
Yeah, Gary. And
Right. Yeah.
no, listen. And I saw another cup game during the week, the Liverpool game, where Owen scores a header, and
He was right back that
yeah,
night.
I know he's right back, but he's still in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
well
always
aware,
there.
well
You know what I
aware.
mean? Yeah.
There was a bit of confusion on that one.
Oh, there was. Absolutely, certainly from you.
No.
Yeah.
No, that
you
was
got
one.
drawn. Owen just peels off. Owen's in front of you.
Yeah, no, but Johnny centre back.
But there was nobody behind you.
Johnny
Gary.
centre back, which
Gary,
is
but
about to
there's
be
nobody behind you.
Johnny centre back runs quickly forward.
I know.
And late, you think, oh, you've killed me.
But there was nobody behind you.
But I can't stand next to my centre back who's marking him.
No, you don't have to stand next to your centre half. Owen's in between.
I've got a bit of look.
And even when he heads it, you don't even hit him as he heads it.
The Hullet one, definitely.
Right, so I'd be wary about you playing centre half.
I'd probably have
Well,
centre half.
I said about Martinez, didn't I, when he first came in?
Yeah.
I still...
Do you retract that now?
Not really. I just... if I was a manager, I would never buy a centre-back that small. And the reason being, it's not just him. I actually like him as a player. I think he's got great spirit. He's brilliant on the ball. He's aggressive. But the way football is now, when probably 20 years ago, I used to play full-back. And you'd normally have a back four. One of your full-backs would be really tall as well. You don't think of set pieces. But the way the game is now, because full-backs are almost like wingers, there's not that many big players in your team, really. So your full-backs are not the biggest anymore. So I always think for set pieces, your centre-backs sometimes, and even your striker now, how many teams play with like a big, massive guy up front? It doesn't really happen as much. And I just think your two centre-backs have got to be, just for set pieces, 6'3", 6'4". So at least you've got those two pillars.
Would you have Baresi?
Oh, listen, he's my favourite ever player.
So the answer's no there, I wouldn't play centre back. No, we've answered the question, haven't we?
No. Saying that, what's Mascherano?
There's one more. What's the worst piece of man management you've ever seen?
Oh, it's fucking easy for
Ever
me.
seen?
I think, remember Phil Brown at Hull when he got the players to up at Man
Is that
City
bad?
pointing out, what was that about?
Do you think it was that bad?
On the pitch, you mean?
Yeah, when they were on the pitch, what was that about? I couldn't
Not about
understand. I still
that.
don't know what was about. What it was about. I was like,
I remember the Jimmy Bullard one. That was
Jimmy
brilliant.
Bullard
Yeah.
like celebration. But I was thinking, what would be the
He's
reason?
just trying to be
do it in
different,
front-
trying to do something different. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
he's
the
trying
thing
to
is,
be clever,
you're trying to be different. But the
He done
players-
worse than that.
The players are sitting
He
there
done worse
thinking,
than
what the
that.
fuck are we doing here? Not even listening to what he's saying.
This may have come off the back of the Troy Deeney quote about the players the other week. You know,
Right.
do you remember the interview
Yeah.
that Troy did? What did you make of that, where he criticised the players at Forest Green?
No, I don't think that was right. It wasn't just... Listen, sometimes our manager says something in a press conference.
tone?
Like the situation with Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho. when you look at the interview, the manager hasn't even really said anything that bad. You know, but I don't think it was that bad. So Sancho never plays again for United, but I thought the Troy Deeney thing was over the top, what he said about the play. You can't, I mean, it was out of order.
And he said it a few weeks in a row, didn't he?
Yeah, he was saying he was weak and he was one of the worst players. Did he say someone was one of the worst? He wouldn't get a game in the conference or something about one of his players.
I didn't like.
You can't say that.
Yeah. I didn't like the Beck's one before the '98 World Cup.
What was that?
Where he said that he was distracted by his wife, and you know.
You said he was distracted on the documentary.
No, I didn't.
You did?
No, I didn't.
You did? The great thing about that documentary is Beckham says, I wasn't distracted, I wasn't
And then it went
distracted.
straight to you.
And then he said he was, and his mum said he was.
No.
Oh my
what
God.
I'm saying is to say it publicly to the press and the media.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
At the time.
Sometimes the manager might be just
Yeah,
trying
but
to get
I just thought, you know, the noise that would make is like sort of huge around David Beckham. He was with Victoria at the time. That was the bit that, you know, and I like Glenn. I think he was a great coach, but I just think he was a young coach, and at the time, you know, to do that, it created a massive scene at the time.
It wasn't nasty. Well, I
No,
think
no,
it was
I don't-
nastiness.
but it felt a bit like at the time.
But I just think when managers nowadays are doing so many press conferences, eventually they are going to they're going to have a slip.
Yeah.
They're just going to.
But I think bringing in his family, I think, is one where I think you wouldn't ordinarily, as a manager, do that. You'd normally say, look, you know, David's got some issues, us we're dealing with. He said, no, look, he was almost pointing towards
Right.
the fact he was with Victoria, obviously he was with the Spice Girls at the time. That's
You see, with Troy, I'm wondering if how that works out for him in his first job. Obviously, they didn't win a game. You know what I mean? Ideally, you want to get the players on your side. You want to say everything, even if they fucking lie to them, so they can get them to win a game or something. I'm just thinking that, you know,
he's tried to go the other way. Hasn't he?
He's gone the other way to try and, I don't know, the tough love, but I'm wondering how that's going to affect him in the futures in respects of how he thinks currently, how you manage
He learned from it, surely.
This kind of play.
He nearly beat Salford. There was the last kick of the game. Salford got a result.
Yeah.
And this is a team he'd gone in. Remember, again, he's a manager.
I know how much
Forest Green have won 4 or 5 games
Mm.
in the last 50-odd. So he's almost close to beating Salford. And so I think there's an element of frustration. I think managers come out and hopefully he'll learn from it. That's what the game's about.
That's what you're hoping.
We've worked with great managers. They've come out and said stuff about players sometimes. You go, I was a bit harsh.
Yeah.
But it depends what kind of player or character or dressing you have. I think somebody just roll with that stuff. Part of it's no big deal, but when it's a young manager who's learning his trade, straight away people want to say, oh, you can't be doing this, you can't be doing that. And once he learns from it, Jesus, relax everyone.
I remember one time, Bruce Rioch, when he came, he was digging out Ray Parlour, and he called him stupid. He said, that was stupid, just stupid, right?
Publicly or to him?
In the dressing room with us. And it was just so strange, because, you know, managers, they're swearing and effing and blinding. And the way he said it to him, he just
cut it down with stupid.
laughing. And we just started calling him, you're just stupid, right?
We've all done it. We've all done daft things. And you don't have to be a manager. We hear players sometimes saying stuff. You go, listen, what are you talking about?
But I always think, when you talk about, I'm trying to think of something from like the managers I had, but I always felt when you got to the first team, the managers weren't that harsh. Yeah, I always felt that was a lot more in like a youth team or the reserves. You know, if you got beaten the reserves or the youth team, you'd just be in there for half an hour and just be going through everyone. And just, but you just carried on training the next day, didn't you, with the same coach? And it was no like.
But every time a manager makes a slip up, now you say, oh, they've lost the dressing room, the players won't be happy. I think managers, again, doing that many press conferences, especially if they're doing cup competition, they must be doing that. Every now and again, they must do a press conference and go, I don't even know what I said there. And they just, no, they might just have a lapse in concentration and people
it seems
jump
like they're
on
not
it.
doing, there's no way they've done as many interviews as they do now. Nowhere near.
I feel for
but the thing is
now.
with George, I remember George Graham would come, and you feel like you're just hammering us just because you can. And I found that it's really demoralising. Because you come in and you're doing really well, and you just tear into a few. Merce, myself, you know what I mean, Kevin, you know what I mean, whoever it is, you know, Dicko. You just hammer into people to the point where you just feel a little bit like, really, man, we're fucking winning, bro. You know what I mean?
It keeps on your toes, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you say that when Wenger came in, it wasn't the same. Wenger had a different...
It was different
approach.
personality.
Yeah, but the thing is, what it made me realise is that
everybody's
you don't need
different.
tough love all the time.
But sometimes you do.
No.
Sometimes you do.
Not when you've won. When you've lost.
Wenger's come from a different background to George Graham. He's Scottish. It's different makeup. You can't ask everyone to be like robots.
No, I'm not asking him to be like, but I'm just talking about when you've won. Yes, you could say, listen, we could have done this better, but not hammer people.
Well,
when
Tony
you've
Allen
won.
said you were always late for training, right? So What did you want the manager to say to you? He pushed training back for you.
Listen
George
to me,
Graham
because
pushed
I know
training
where you're
back.
going. I know where you're going.
It is.
I know what you're trying to do. I'm not even listening to you. I'm not listening to you.
He's done it.
I'm not listening to
You
you.
don't
Don't say anything. Don't say
Arsene Wenger.
And that's the end of this week's episode. Right.